everyone. How are you all students? Our chapter number 2 is over, students. Now we are moving towards our next chapter. Before announcing the name of the topic, I want to share some situation with you all. Okay, just observe. Have you ever go through this situation that you are going somewhere outside, out of a station, and you want to pack your bag? Now, bag is not having that much space and you want to keep one more jacket in your bag or any other cloth. Now, you are pushing your bag downwards for creating the space. And now the space is created and you are able to keep one more jacket in the bag. Does this happen sometimes? Yes, most of the times it happens when we are going outside and when we are packing our luggage bag. Even with your school bag also, most of the time you want to keep more notebooks in your bag and you have to adjust your bag accordingly. Isn't it? Yes, because the space is occupied by air. And when we are pushing the bag downwards and we are adjusting our bag, then the air is coming out from the bag and space will become created. That's why it means even air is occupying some space. Everything which is present around us is occupying some space. Okay, means everything is some matter and matter is occupying space. Everything which is occupying space and has mass means has some shape. Some area is occupied and some weight in the atmosphere. That particular substance is the matter. It means we can consider that everything is matter because everything, whether less or more, but weight is there, everything is having some weight or everything is occupying some space also. Okay, means whether a particular thing is living or a non-living, it is a matter. We can classify matter in the category of living as well as non-living. Okay, like you are a living thing and you are occupying a space. The chair which is lying in front of you is a non-living thing, is occupying a space. Okay, students? Now, this is all about matter that you have studied in your previous class also. I know you people are familiar with the term matter. That's why we are recalling this term. Before starting our topic, that is types of matter, today we will start our next chapter, that is chapter number 7, which is based on the types of matter, that is elements and compounds. Do you know matter are of two types, whether they are pure substances or whether they are impure substances, about which we will study in this chapter. Okay, students, so let's begin with chapter number 7, elements, compounds and chemical equations. This is the name of chapter number 7, elements, compounds and chemical equation. See, students, before starting the topic, I want to say one thing. See, from here in the class 7th, you people will find a division in the chapters of science. That is, few chapters belongs to the category of biology, few chapters from the chemistry background and few from the physics background. This is the first chapter with the background of chemistry, and this chapter is the base of chemistry. If you understand this chapter properly, then you will be able to resolve many problems which you will be find in your further chapters. Okay, students, so let's begin with the topic. Now, students, before starting the topic, one more thing is there. That is the term which I have used, chemistry. As you people are going to start, the first chapter belongs to this branch of science that deals with the study of substances, their composition, structure and properties. See, students, Before starting the topic, you have to understand the definition of chemistry properly, because after knowing the definition, you will be able to answer that what we are going to study in this chapter and related to chemistry for the chapters. Okay, students? So, first of all, the branch of science that deals with the study of substances, their composition, structure and properties. Yes, now students, substances, see, whatever the things which are present around us is made up of something, etc. Anything. Like table is lying in front of you. It is made up of wood. Some mica will be there. Some polishing, varnishing is there. It means that is the composition of that table. Okay, that table is made of. Now students, I want to discuss one more thing with you. That have you ever listened the term ingredients? Yes, the word ingredients means when you are cooking any food item, the items, the substances which you are using while cooking is the ingredients, like salt, chili, red chili, turmeric you are using to cook that food item. That is the ingredient. And the composition are those substances which you are using to make some item. Now what is the difference between them? See students, ingredients, we are not assured about the quantity of ingredient. Means you and me both are preparing the vegetable, okay, any of the vegetable we both are preparing at our home, and we are using the same ingredients, but we can change the quantity by our own taste, according to our taste. Like if you like chili, you can add more chili in that, even the vegetable will become same. Okay, we used to share that we are eating the same vegetable, but if you are making a medicine and you have to assure while preparing such type of chemical substances that the quantity must be same. See, if you observe a cough syrup at your home, see, behind that cough syrup you will find the word composition is there. Composition means everything which is used to make that particular substance, the quantity is mentioned over there. Means 5 ml this, 10 ml this. It means the quantity will not get changed, otherwise that substance will become harmful. But word ingredient you will find behind the edibles. Means if you are eating the chips, you will find it is written, ingredients is written over there. This is the difference between ingredients and the composition. When you have to fix the amount of substance which you are using to prepare something, that is composition. And when you can change the amount of a particular substance, that is the ingredient. Okay students, now about the structure and the properties. See, whatever we are preparing, we have to know the structure of that particular substance. About the structure and the properties, you will understand after the completion of this chapter that everything is having a particular structure and having some particular properties on the basis of which we can identify that particular substance. Okay students? Now in this chapter you will be able to study about, or you can say after the ending of the chapter you will be able to answer about matter, elements, compounds, symbols of the elements, chemical formula of elements, chemical formula of compounds, valency, ions, radicals, how to write a chemical formula, chemical equation and balancing equation. This is a very lengthy chapter and you have to pay more attention while studying this chapter, because if you are going to miss even a single part, you will be unable to understand the next part. Okay students, because all the parts are interconnected. First of all, we have to understand about the matter. Anything which occupies space and has mass, that is known as matter. See, in this picture, matter is of two types, pure substance and a mixture. You can also consider it mixture as an impure substance. Okay students, now pure substance. Pure substance is subcategorized into elements and compounds, and mixture is subcategorized into homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture, about which you have studied in your previous class also. But I think the topic is not clear to you all. So let's start with the elements. See students, in the picture elements, are you able to differentiate among these circles? See, the first circle which is indicating element is all the bubbles is of same color, that is sea green color. Now after that, compounds are having two colors, purple, both the ends, and in the middle some grayish color is there. Okay, first of all we will discuss about this elements and compounds only. That's why we are considering only these two diagrams. Now elements, see students, a particular substance is known as element when it is made up of same type of atoms. A particular substance, same type of atoms, that is known as elements. And if a particular substance is made up of more than one type of atoms combining together in a fixed proportion, that is known as compound. See, why we are using the word fixed proportion? Because beta, if the quantity, we are not assured for the quantity of the number of atoms combining together, that particular substance is not considered as pure. That is a mixture. Okay, that's why while attempting the definition of compound, you have to mention that in a fixed quantity, the number of atoms combining together to form a compound in a fixed quantity of different elements. Okay students, that is known as compounds. Now mixture. Mixture means the substance in which the quantity is not sure. We are not sure for the quantity. Such type of substances are known as mixture. They are divided into two categories, that is homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Now what are homogeneous mixture? Later on we will study about this. First of all, let's discuss the example of elements, compounds. See, elements, same type of atoms. Same type mean oxygen. See, whenever we are talking about oxygen, that is O2. Okay, means two atoms of oxygen are combining together to form oxygen. Okay, that's why same type of atoms, that is known as elements. Now compounds. Water. Have you ever listened the formula of water, H2O? Yes, I think yes, in your 6th class you have listened the formula of water. H2O means two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom are combining together. See, in the formation of water compound, the number of elements is sure. The quantity of hydrogen and oxygen is fixed. That's why we are called it as pure substance. That is a compound. I know right now you people are finding this topic quite complicated. Later on, when we will start studying this topic in detail, it will be easier for you. See, we are using the term atoms again and again. Everything is matter, as I told you. everything which is present around us, whether it is living or non-living, is an atom. Means atoms, the composition of everything, whether it is living or non-living, is made up of atom. Now students, I am showing you the structure of atom. The first structure, this one, is the three-dimensional structure of atom, and the second one is the two-dimensional. That's why the orbitals are looking like that. These are the same orbitals, okay? Both the cases. See, in the center there is a nucleus. This is the structure of atom, in the center of which there is a nucleus. Nucleus contains protons as well as neutrons, okay? Protons are positively charged particles. See, they are present in the center, and the other one, orange circles, are representing neutrons. Neutrons are the neutral. Neutral means they are not having whether positive or the negative charge. That's why nucleus is having only one charge. Due to the presence of positively charged protons, nucleus is also considered as positively charged, because the other substance, other particle which is present inside the nucleus does not have any charge. Okay students? So, which charge nucleus have? Positive charge. Okay students? Now, electrons are lying in the orbitals which are present around the nucleus. See, number of orbitals may vary. Okay, whether it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay students? Now, electrons are revolving in these orbitals. Okay, is it clear to you? Why we are studying about atoms in this chapter? See students, when I told you the definition of elements, I said to you that elements are made up of same type of atoms. We are using the term atoms. That's why I am explaining you this term. Okay? Yes students, now the question which we have studied in our previous chapters, that is the smallest unit of life is cell. But how come this atom is now? From where it comes? Now the unit is changed, the smallest unit is atom. See, we have to understand, maybe this question may come in your mind, that what is the difference between cell and atom now? See students, as we are saying that everything is matter, whether it is living and non-living, and the smallest unit of matter is atom. So what is cell? Cell is the smallest unit of our body. Yes, cell is the structural and functional unit of life. But inside the cell, atoms are present. See students, cells are getting the energy from the food, and food is present in the form of atoms and molecules. Okay students, which are providing energy to the cell to perform the functions. That's why cell is the structural and the functional unit of life, which depends on atom for proper functioning. Okay? Now students, this is just the start of our chapter. Just observe, think about it. Atoms, okay, matter only. From our next class, we will start studying about elements and compounds. And we will also discuss about homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture, which we haven't discussed till now. Okay? As we were discussing about pure substances only, we haven't reached to the mixtures. That's why we haven't discussed about homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures. Now, for today, no homework, no classwork is there. Okay? You have to complete your chapter number 2. That's why I'm not giving you any classwork. And yes, start working on chapter number 7. Start doing the homework from this chapter, that is key terms of the chapter number 7. If you are not having the key terms, I will provide it to you. Okay students? Thank you everyone.